but you don't know who they are. Our immigrants. I'm really delighted to see them back. People from America, people from England, all over the world. They came here at enormous inconvenience to themselves. It did not suit many of them to take this Friday off. Saturday or Sunday would have suited them better, I'm sure. But nevertheless, they made the effort and they're here. And I would like you all to give them a good Céad Míle Fáilte of a welcome. I am by no means eloquent, so I think I better stop before I put my foot in it. Thank you all very much for coming here. May God bless you. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. And now I would call on the Chairman of the County Council, who is here in his official capacity. We are very pleased and proud to have him with us. Senator Brian Malooly, if you please, for a few words.
Chahirli, here na Aspig, agus a gwina úsla go léir idir cléir agus tua. Is mór an honor agus an privilege domsa bheith an seo live in you. Agus tá mé fear bhuiach a sucht an cura tugodom bheith live. Bhaithlam cogarjacus a ghlacha leis an greista agus le gach duine Rápáirt ag an Ueki in Agro an Le Aontacht Seo. Mr. Chairman, my Lord Bishop, very Reverend Fathers, Canon Graham, teachers, pupils, past pupils of Tarmon School, and members of the community of Tarmon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very honoured as Chairman of Roscommon County Council to have been invited to be present today on this very important day and very historic day for the community of Tarmon. When my good friend and esteemed colleague on Roscommon County Council, Councillor Paddy Concannon, told me to put this date in my diary, and that was some weeks ago, I assured Paddy that if at all possible, I would try to attend today, and I'm delighted that I was able to be here with you. There are many reasons, of course, why the Chairman of Roscommon County Council should be present on this occasion, and why the people of Roscommon and the County Council should be represented by the presence of the Chairman at this happy occasion. First of all, there's the great tradition of this school here in Tarmon and the contribution that it has made over the years to the educational life, the sporting life, and indeed the political life of County Roscommon. I don't think there's any school in the county with such close links with the chairmanship of Roscommon County Council than this school. And the chain that I'm wearing bears the name of two people who are synonymous in everybody's mind, I think, with Tarmon School. The name of the late Dan O'Rourke, who was a member of the council and chairman for a long number of years, and the name of your present councillor, Councillor Paddy Concannon, who Paddy has also been a member for a long number of years and chairman also on a number of occasions. Indeed, it's interesting to note that while you're celebrating your centenary today, Roscommon County Council doesn't celebrate its centenary until much later on in the present decade. But I think that one of the very interesting things that struck me recently was that for all of the second half of the 100 years, or almost 100 years, that Roscommon County Council has now been in existence. Paddy Concannon has served in that council. He has been a member of the council in the 40s, in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, and he's now serving in the 90s. So, as I say, I'm delighted to be with you on this great occasion for the area and the community of Tarmon. I want to compliment and commend the organising committee for having organised this very special day. Another reason, of course, why I was delighted to be present is that your present principal here in Tarmon, who's carrying on the great tradition of his predecessors, Jimmy Fahy, is a very close friend of mine. Jimmy and I have been colleagues in the teaching profession and very good friends for maybe longer than either of us would care to remember. So I thank you for the invitation to me to be with you today. I compliment you again, and I hope you enjoyed the remainder of the events that have been organised for you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Senator Malooly. And now we come to the second item on our programme for today, and that is the official launching of our Centenary magazine. Now, when we started out to organise this Centenary Day, it was suggested that perhaps we could do something about recording some of the history of Tarmon and the surrounding areas that has hitherto been unrecorded. We have put a considerable amount of research into it. It is not by any means a full and complete account, but we have done our best in the time that was available to us and with the facilities that were to hand. Tarmon, as His Lordship said earlier on during the course of his homily, Tarmon is history. Tarmon School, in its 100 years, it has seen its days of glory. There were those glorious days when its past pupils took home the Sam Maguire to Roscommon and to Tarmon. It also had its days of sadness and of sorrow, the days when some of our glorious past pupils made the supreme sacrifice and gave their lives for their country, so that we today could proudly take our place among the nations of the earth. Tarmon, of course, also had its reign of terror, not only for the people of Tarmon, but for the children in the school. I refer, of course, to that bleak November day in 1920, when a lorry load of black and tans pulled up just down here to my right, outside the school, and threatened, at that time, not alone threatened, but I'm sure had malign intentions for the life of Dan O'Rourke, who was teaching here at the time, and the 75 or 76 students who were sitting in their desks. I couldn't help but recall and recount to you the words of the late May Ford, who was then assistant teacher in the school, when one of the officers who had come to arrest Dan on that day drew his revolver. She stood up at the door, and as only she could do it in her most imperious voice, she said, "Young men, put away that gun. How dare you draw a gun on my children?" May the Lord have mercy on her soul. When we were looking around for somebody to launch this magazine, naturally the name of Dan O'Rourke was foremost in our minds, because since that day when Dan packed his bags and crossed over Slieve an Éireann into County Roscommon and made his way to Tarmon, the name of O'Rourke has been synonymous with Tarmon for well over half a century. So we thought, who better and who more appropriate for to officially launch the magazine than his daughter, Sister Elizabeth, better known perhaps to a lot of you as Maureen O'Rourke. So I now have great pleasure in calling on Sister Elizabeth to make the official address.